Up the Amazon, continued Part 4, by Russell Lee Morris, read by the author. The paper money pallet caravan has landed in Mapia. Remember earlier in the story, page 29? I want it when Satan called to rent, the most important looking site showing on the LIDAR survey? Not many people took the discussion serious about publicly auctioning sites. Land, showing from the LIDAR survey listing. But Satan wanted that site, the one with the most important looking temple. He made sure that his bid was highest, and also that it was anonymous, corporately speaking. And also, being a pallet of cash, that it was impossible to trace. Now where did that come from? Angel asks. It says here, from an anonymous donor, Jordan replies. Oh, okay, now I remember. Last month I received a letter in the mail. It was in response to the Purus Nation public land auction that we talked about, remember? Jordan replies, oh yes, Angel, I remember. Auctioning the sites as outlined on the LIDAR survey report, to be rented to the highest bidder. This auction open to all inhabitants of Earth, with no exceptions. Yep, that's it. Well, what I received was a bid offer and a contract. I looked the contract over, changed the part about the money remaining hoardable to let the donor know that demurrage, holding charges, is declared on all money coming into Purus Nation, especially Mapia. And then I sent it back to Satan. Yep, that's who sent it. Maybe it stands for something, or maybe it's a corporate name. It doesn't matter. Well, and Jordan hands Angel the shipping paperwork. She opens the envelope. It's the contract that I sent, signed by Satan. Here, now I'll sign it. Angel signed the contract. Here, Jordan, you sign it too, as a witness. Thank you. Jordan did so, and the blueprint copy went back to the sender. She kept the original. Everyone thought that we were just telling a story, didn't they, Jordan? This here pallet of paper US dollars is quite real. I think it's time to open the first Purus National Bank of free money. Remember what that means, Jordan? Oh yes, Angel. Free money is money which is free to circulate. It helps to make the exchange of goods faster, more secure, and cheaper. The exchange of goods is no longer the victim of a holdup, where the money agent can delay or prevent the exchange from happening, leaving the goods agent at the mercy of nature, decay, and forcing him or her to lower the price. The exchange is encouraged for both the seller and the buyer when money carries holding charges, demurrage. The stress of holding up the exchange is no longer a distraction. Exchange of goods, and in fact of everything, including the breathing exchange, goes on without fear or distortion. That's a big deal. Attention, environmentalists. Okay, good, Jordan. Let the people of Mapia know that we are accepting applications for loan money, and let them know that all mothers can come by the bank as soon as possible to receive their basic income with demurrage, enough to assure that basic food and housing of a basic, comfortable standard can be paid for each week. This will help to put all Purus industry on the right path. The loan applicants can be sure that their business can go on this time without the recession games. Next chapter. The tabernacle of Abraham was a chest full of money. It worked miracles everywhere it went, but there was a problem. After about 20 years, there came an economic recession. It was caused by money being vacuumed out of circulation. As a result, all that had been accomplished by the community declined. Abraham and the tabernacle moved to another location. They did this twice before settling at Solomon's temple. Declare demurrage, holding charges on the money, so that there are no more economic recessions ever again. New Jerusalem. These days, the tabernacle of Abraham is a pallet full of cash paper US dollars. It still moves around every 20 years or so, but here in Mapia, Brazil, New Jerusalem, something very special will happen to the money in the tabernacle, the pallet full of paper US dollars. Demurrage, holding charges, will be declared on it. The money will carry demurrage, holding charges. The tabernacle will remain. The money will circulate. It will not mysteriously be vacuumed out of circulation to cause economic recession ever again. Amen. Amen, says Jordan. Now what? I'm glad that you asked. We will need stamps, post office stamps, of the value equal to a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter in local money. Oh, I'm sure there are lots of those in storage. Today, the exchange rate is approximately 5 Brazilian reais for $1 US. But we are not exchanging money here. We shall let the reais remain. Both currencies will carry holding charges, demurrage. What is the date today, Jordan? March 27. So that the money will be available to support this coming growing season of September, we shall initiate the injection of unhoardable money with demurrage, holding charges. You could call it an economic vaccination for preventing recession. We shall initiate the injection of this money into the body economic locally in 3 days. That would make it April 1st, April Fool's Day. The joke is on the money power establishment. We will show the way for all the other churches worldwide to do the same as soon as possible. That means as soon as they can accumulate enough cash money paper US dollars. And how much money does that mean? Since recession is looming and people are beginning to cash out anyway, I don't think that it will be difficult to accumulate a good amount of the economic vaccination to keep the economic cancer from overcoming the good work, which will continue uninterrupted without distortion, refining itself non-stop. It won't be long before everyone has a home, the number one goal. Then the loans can begin to be paid back very quickly. Purus will rise above the debtor's life. This is the Jubilee. It will happen very quickly. In 1 year, we will be prepared to print up new money notes to replace all of the old money, which will be full of demurrage stamps on the backside of each piece of paper money. Most of the people will probably choose to deposit the paper money into the bank, as usual. In that case, the bank, me, I will be responsible for making sure that the demurrage holding charges are paid, whether it is me paying the demurrage, as in the case of a time account, or whether it is the account holder who pays the demurrage, as in the case of on-demand accounts. I will try my best to not just let on-time money just sit decaying from the holding charges by actively looking for good loan candidates. We probably won't need as many post office stamps as you might imagine. And we will have good partners for doing business in the Abraham Accords. Jordan, are you ready to witness a miracle, along with all the people who signed for this money on each loan contract, whereby each person freely chooses unhoardable money with demurrage holding charges over the trick hoardable money, Satan's usury leverage device? As I accumulate more and more paper US dollars in the bank, and if I have satisfied all the good loan applicants, I will begin to pay off the debt of Purus. Keep in mind that it takes much less unhoardable money with demurrage holding charges to far outperform what was accomplished using the hoardable money, especially after about 20 years, one generation, and no economic recession. The next generation will see miracle after miracle, win after win. They will be speaking quite differently from what you hear at present. The next chapter. Let's talk about churches. Churches don't pay taxes because they don't own the land. They do own the building, but usually that is under mortgage. Who owns the land? Asked Jordan. The people, the community of the church. Actually, the land is God's, but it was taken and held ransom. Our mission is to fix this. The people of the church pay rent weekly. To who? Now this is a good interview. Thank you, Jordan. Aside from maintenance and operating expenses, rent payments go to the board. They own the land. Well, they have a mortgage on it anyway. Well enough. But what happens these days wherever the church is missing its weekly income? The board doesn't receive the necessary income to pay the mortgage, not even enough to pay maintenance and operating expenses. The church suddenly needs cash. Maybe it must sell something in order to get that cash. A pallet full of cash paper US dollars will do. But that is Satan's money. That's okay, Jordan jumps up. We shall engage the natural economic order. Bravo, Jordan. Start advertising the new management and the new program. Upon all the new fresh income, aside from board payments, we shall declare demurrage holding charges. And using the two-edged sword coming from the mouth, we shall gradually, eventually, buy out the mortgage holders, whereby the land shall become property in common property of the church members, whereby the renters, whoever owns the building, shall pay rent weekly. The rent money will be used to provide social services for the community, which will attract more people to the church and more income. As a member of the church, I agree to only use unhoardable money with demurrage holding charges, and to not accept ever again Satan's trick hoardable money without immediately stamping it. The stamp being the post office stamp for showing that demurrage holding charges have been paid up to date. All money payments per negotiation shall be done using money with demurrage holding charges. Local business being naturally emphasized, soon other churches will join. Engaging the natural economic order. you will see how unhoardable money with demurrage holding charges prevents recession like a vaccination for the body economic, local as well as other economic bodies, including nations. The last chapter. From the last page of The Natural Economic Order by Silvio Gesell. Everyone would of course like to enjoy the blessings of civil and international peace, and at the same time live on capital interests. But those who have discovered that the possibility of doing so is a utopian fantasy, an illusion of naive minds, those who recognize that war and interest are inseparable must choose one or other of these alternatives, either interest and war or earned income and peace. Such persons, if really animated by peaceful Christian feelings, will accept with enthusiasm the latter alternative, earned income and peace. Such persons have the right inner preparation for understanding the natural economic order. It is for them that the book has been written, and it is they also who, undeterred by opposition, will carry through the reforms it proposes. The same plan works for Islam as well. It works for any religion which uses money. And if you don't use money, it still makes for a better world around you. I'm preparing for good times with economic stability from here on. Angel NicGillicuddy. To be continued.